Stop scrolling. Let me ask you something that might change how you see people forever. Do you really think being good keeps you safe? Because the truth is, you've been living a lie. The world doesn't reward goodness. It uses it. Being good doesn't make you safe. It makes you exposed. Let's talk about the real cost of goodness and how to turn it into your greatest power. 1. Goodness as exposure. Think about the kindest person you know, the one who always helps, always listens, and never says no. Now ask yourself honestly, are they truly respected? Or do people just use them whenever they need something? Here's the hard truth. When you're always kind, people start to predict you. They know you'll never argue. They know you'll never say no. They know you'll stay quiet, even when you're uncomfortable. That's when they begin to test your limits. One small favor at a time. At first, you don't notice it. You think you're doing the right thing, being a good friend, a loyal worker, a caring person. But slowly, your kindness turns into something else. Permission. People start to take more and more from you because they know you won't fight back. You become the one who stays late when no one else wants to. The one who fixes everyone's problems but never gets credit. The one who keeps smiling while others walk all over you. And here's what hurts the most. Instead of appreciating you, they begin to ignore you. People don't respect endless kindness. They exploit it. That's because humans value what's rare, not what's constant. When you're too available, your value drops. When you always say yes, your yes means nothing. When you never set boundaries, people believe you don't have any. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be both, a lion and a fox." In other words, you must be kind and clever, gentle and strong. Kindness alone is not enough. It makes you an easy target. But kindness mixed with wisdom becomes power. You've been trying to survive as a sheep in a world full of wolves. That's why you keep getting hurt, ignored, and drained. It's time to evolve. Be the kind person who also knows when to say no. Be the helper who protects their time and energy. Be the good person who doesn't let others mistake goodness for weakness. From now on, your kindness will have limits, and your boundaries will have strength. Drop this in the comments. I protect my energy. 2. The generosity trap. Here's a strange but powerful truth. The more you give, the less people value what you give. When you start being kind, people notice. They thank you, they praise you, and they say you have a big heart. But with time, your giving becomes normal to them. They stop seeing it as something special. They start to expect it. At first, your kindness feels like a gift. Later, it becomes a habit in their eyes. And one day, when you finally say no, the same people who once praised you will call you selfish, rude, or ungrateful. That's how generosity becomes a trap. You begin to give from love, but you end up giving from guilt. You build a pattern where people rely on you too much, and the moment you try to rest, they make you feel like you've done something wrong. You start asking yourself, why am I being punished for caring? But it's not your kindness that's the problem. It's that people have become addicted to it. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It means humans quickly get used to anything that feels good. When you do something kind again and again, people stop noticing it. It becomes part of the background, invisible. But the moment you break the pattern, when you say, "Not today," or "I can't right now," that one small change becomes a big deal. Suddenly your single no matters more than your 100 yeses. That's why Machiavelli warned, greater than benefits should be given slowly, so that they will be appreciated more. It's not about being selfish. It's about being strategic. When you give all the time, your value drops. When you give wisely, your kindness has power. Think about it. Even gold is valuable because it's rare. If it were everywhere, no one would care. The same goes for your time, your effort, and your generosity. Scarcity creates value. Overgiving destroys it. So, protect your energy. Help others, but not at the cost of your peace. Give, but with awareness. Let your generosity be a choice, not an expectation. Drop this in the comments. I give strategically. 3. The mask of virtue. Society doesn't really care if you are truly a good person inside. What it cares about is how you look from the outside. People don't see your heart. They see your image. They don't feel your intentions. They judge your actions, your tone, your confidence, and your boundaries. That's why real power isn't about being good all the time. It's about being wise with your goodness. It's about knowing when to show it and when to hold it back. Smart people understand this. They wear what we can call the mask of virtue. In public, they appear calm, kind, and respectful. They speak politely, they smile, and they carry themselves with control. But in private, they're not afraid to be firm. They know how to say no, how to demand respect, and how to protect what's theirs. This balance isn't fake. It's strategic. There's a difference between pretending and positioning. Pretending is lying to others. Positioning is understanding how the world works and using that knowledge wisely. Even a doctor has to cause pain to heal a wound. A leader sometimes has to be strict to keep peace. A teacher sometimes has to be tough to bring discipline. In the same way, a wise person knows that being nice all the time doesn't make you good. It often makes you weak. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you really are." This is one of the most powerful truths about human nature. Most people will never take the time to understand your heart. They'll only respond to how you present yourself. If you look confident, they'll treat you with respect. If you look unsure, they'll test you. Appear strong, and people will treat you that way. Appear weak, and they'll walk all over you. So don't show all your softness to everyone. Show it only to those who've earned it. Be kind, but don't be open to manipulation. Be humble, but don't be invisible. Be compassionate, but never lose control. Power isn't about being loud. It's about being centered. It's about being so calm that people can feel your strength without you saying a word. Wear your mask of virtue wisely, not to deceive, but to protect yourself in a world that judges before it understands. Drop this in the comments. I control my image. 4. The economics of power. Every yes you say costs you something. Every time you help someone, listen to their problems, or give away your time and energy, you are spending a part of yourself. It's like money, but a currency is your focus, peace, and strength. The problem is, most people never think about this cost. They keep saying yes to everyone, friends, family, co-workers, until one day they wake up tired, angry, and drained. They feel empty but can't explain why. It's because they've been spending their energy without keeping track of it. Think about it like this. If your phone battery gets low, you plug it in to charge. But when you feel low, do you recharge yourself? Or do you keep giving more to others? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't light someone else's fire if your own flame is dying. Even on airplanes, they tell you, put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. Why? Because if you pass out, you can't help anyone else. That's not being selfish. That's being smart. Self-care is not about ignoring people. It's about keeping yourself strong enough to keep showing up for the right ones. When you say yes to everyone, you're actually saying no to yourself. You lose your focus, your peace, and your goals. True leaders understand that power is not about pleasing people. It's about protecting what gives them strength. Power works like economics. You have limited energy, and you must invest it wisely. Spend it on things that grow you, not drain you. Spend it on people who respect it, not those who waste it. Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." And you cannot command others if you can't command yourself. Discipline, control, and self-respect start from within. When you learn to protect your time and energy, people begin to value them too. So from today, stop apologizing for taking breaks. Stop feeling guilty for saying no. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Protect it like gold. Drop this in the comments. I protect my resources. 5. Strategic goodness. Goodness is not weakness. Many people think being good means being soft, naive, or easy to use, but that's not true. Real goodness is power when it's guided by wisdom. It's not about pleasing everyone. It's about choosing wisely whom and when to help. When you give to everyone without thinking, you drain yourself. You end up tired, frustrated, and sometimes even resentful. But when you practice strategic goodness, you don't act out of guilt or pressure. You act with purpose. You give because you want to, not because you have to. Strategic goodness means helping the right people, those who value your time, energy, and effort. It's about kindness with boundaries. You're not saying no because you're selfish. You're saying no because you respect your limits. You know that your energy is not unlimited, and your focus matters. When you are kind with strategy, people respect you more. They know your help has meaning. They don't take it for granted. They see that your yes carries weight because it's rare and real. It's not born from fear of rejection or the need for approval. It comes from strength. Every time someone asks for your help, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Does this align with my values? Is this something I truly believe in or want to support? 2. Can I do this without draining myself? Will this leave me exhausted or balanced? 3. Will this person truly appreciate it? Are they someone who values effort or someone who only takes? If your answer to any of these is no, then your answer to them should be no too. Because saying no to what drains you is the same as saying yes to your peace, your focus, and your goals. Strategic goodness builds stronger relationships, deeper respect, and inner calm. It's not about being cold or selfish. It's about being wise enough to protect your own energy so that you can give where it truly matters. Drop this in the comments to remind yourself, I choose effective kindness. Because being good is not about giving more. It's about giving smart. 6. The illusion of gratitude. Here's a truth that most good-hearted people don't realize. Gratitude doesn't last forever. No matter how much you do for others, their thankfulness fades with time. What once seemed like a big favor becomes something they simply expect from you. You might help someone again and again. 10 times, 20 times, maybe more. But the moment you say no once, that's all they remember. They forget your kindness, your sacrifices, and your efforts. It's not always because they're bad people. It's because human memory values new experiences more than old ones. What's familiar becomes invisible. This is the illusion of gratitude. You believe people will always remember what you did for them. You expect loyalty in return for your help. But reality doesn't work that way. People are emotional, not logical. They focus on what they see now, not what happened before. Niccolo Machiavelli said it perfectly. Men judge more by what they see than what they feel. In simple words, people don't remember your feelings or your reasons. They only notice your current actions. You can spend years building goodwill, and still, one small mistake or refusal can make them forget everything. That's why you must be kind, but not dependent on gratitude. Do good because it's part of your nature, not because you need applause or appreciation. Help others because it aligns with your values, not because you expect them to repay you. When you stop depending on thank yous, you gain emotional freedom. You stop being hurt by people's forgetfulness. You start doing good quietly, wisely, and powerfully, not to impress others, but to strengthen your own character. Remember, consistent kindness is noble, but blind giving leads to disappointment. People may forget your name, your words, and your help, but your impact stays. The ripples of your actions reach further than gratitude ever could. So next time you feel unappreciated, remind yourself, you're not here to be remembered. You're here to make a difference. Drop this in the comments. I create lasting impact. Because true goodness doesn't need recognition, it creates change that speaks for itself. 7. Results over intentions. The world doesn't reward good intentions, it rewards good results. You can mean well, you can plan to do something amazing, but if your actions don't lead to real change, your intentions don't matter. Nice people often confuse kindness with effectiveness. They believe that because their heart is in the right place, the outcome should automatically be good. But that's not how life works. Think about it. If a doctor means to save a patient but gives the wrong treatment, does the patient survive? Number. The intention was pure, but the result failed. The world measures the impact of your actions, not the feelings behind them. History is full of examples. The leaders, teachers, and inventors we remember are not the ones who tried. They're the ones who succeeded. They produced something that lasted. Their actions created results that changed lives, even if people misunderstood them in the moment. A tough teacher might make students uncomfortable, but those same students later realized that strictness built their discipline. A strict parent might seem unfair, but that guidance creates stronger, wiser adults. A demanding leader might seem harsh, but their pressure brings out excellence in others. Niccolo Machiavelli once said, "The end justifies the means." This doesn't mean you should be cruel or manipulative. It means your focus should be on what actually helps in the long run, not what simply feels good in the moment. Sometimes, real help doesn't look gentle. Sometimes, love looks like tough discipline, and wisdom looks like cold truth. So stop worrying if everyone likes your approach. Instead, ask yourself, is what I'm doing truly working? Are my actions leading to growth, progress, or improvement for myself and others? If yes, then stay the course, even if it's uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, results are what remain. Intentions fade, words are forgotten, but the outcome of your effort speaks forever. Drop this in the comments. I focus on outcomes, because greatness isn't measured by how good you meant to be. It's measured by what you actually achieved. 8. Legacy and survival. In the end, everything you do will fade, except the impact you leave behind. Your legacy is not built on how nice you were, or how many people liked you. It's built on what you created, what you changed, and how many lives you influenced. The truth is harsh, but real. History doesn't remember the people who stayed quiet and tried to please everyone. It remembers the ones who stood strong, took action, and made a difference, even if they were not loved by all. Think about Steve Jobs. He wasn't known for being gentle or easygoing, but his vision changed the entire world of technology. Or Mother Teresa. She wasn't everywhere or everything to everyone, but she focused her energy where it mattered most. Both of them understood something powerful. You can't help others if you don't first protect and strengthen yourself. If you are exhausted, ignored, or emotionally drained, your goodness loses its power. That's why survival comes before service. Protect your time, your mind, and your focus. Guard your boundaries fiercely, because they allow you to keep giving meaningfully. A burnt-out soul cannot light the way for others. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But this isn't really about spreading fear. It's about earning respect. People may like you for being soft, but they will respect you for being strong. And respect is what builds legacy. Fear fades, love can shift, but respect endures. True strength gives you the ability to choose when and how to be kind. It means your kindness comes from power, not from weakness. Weakness gives endlessly and gets nothing in return. Strength gives wisely and creates real change. So ask yourself, will your goodness make you a victim, or will it make you a leader? Will you let people drain your energy, or will you master your compassion and use it to build something that lasts? Your kindness is not a weapon, and it's not a weakness. It's a force, but only if you control it. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I master strategic goodness. Because in a world full of wolves, you are never meant to be a sheep. You are meant to be the shepherd, strong, wise, and unshakable. Thank you for watching, and remember, your kindness is your power, but only when you control it.